So this is the GlenDronach 40-year-olds, of which we only bottled 300 bottles for the world. And they sold out like that in Asia, UK, US, all around the globe. I drink mine in a wine glass, by the way. Here we go.
Yep.
I'm going to just totally disrupt the industry by saying I drink my whiskey in a wine glass.
Hi guys, welcome to Whisky Newspaper. I'm at KFWE here in Park Lane at GlenDronach with Rachel Barrie, the master blender.
Yep, that's
for GlenDronach, and such an honour to see you. We met about 18 months ago at
Whisky Live Paris.
Whisky Live Paris. As I've mentioned before, GlenDronach is very close to my heart. My journey started with single cask, and it just went from there. So, Rachel, how's your day been, and what do we have here today?
Well, it's been amazing to be here at the Kosher Food and Wine Fair with so many people who love single malts. It's mostly about wine. I actually think we've been busier here at the whiskey stand. So many people getting into our single malts, and in particular GlenDronach. And today we have our core range, our 12, 15, 18 years old. Also the Master's Anthology, which are the Ode to the Valley, Ode to the Dark, Ode to the Embers. We've also got a single cask of GlenDronach here. And we've got a little sample hidden away as well of something very special.
Wow, incredible. Before we dive into the whiskey, so Rachel, tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey, how you got into whiskey, and really what you're trying to achieve and influence with what you have at play.
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for 34 years. Yes, I'm that old.
Wow.
I started Scotch Whisky Research Institute as a chemist. I've worked with many distilleries in Scotland. Of course, leaving the best to last with GlenDronach. I've been working with GlenDronach for 9 years, and during that time, I've tried to hone the character, perfect or master the art of cherry cask maturation, and develop new expressions as well within the characteristics of being a robust Highland malt, richly fruity. GlenDronach does mean the Valley of the Brambles after all. Also with an elegance and a full body coming through from those Spanish oak sherry casks. So that's what makes GlenDronach really, really special in terms of how it's made. And on taste, what I'm looking for is to create a complete symphony of flavour, right from the overture when you nose the whiskey and you think it's so enticing, so inviting, so mellow, and then you taste it, and before you know it, you get. I drink mine in a wine glass, by the way. Here we go.
Yep.
I'm going to just totally disrupt the industry by saying I drink my whiskey in a wine glass. But you nose it, get the aeration in, so rich, enticing, and then you taste it. It just goes on and on and on. Wow. You get almost like juiciness of the dates and the raisins, the crescendo and flamenco of those warm spices dancing on your tongue, the little bit of ground nutmeg, fruitcake, and then into a very persistent grand finale of a finish. And that's what makes GlenDronach really special. That's what I try to achieve. Time and time again, is that it exceeds your expectations on taste every single time.
And it does, because I had the Ode to the Dark, and I was shocked, because it just mimics the single casks in some ways. There's so much age. It's PX, isn't it?
Yeah, 100% Pedro.
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But Rachel, you're really good at what you do. And look, don't be shy to drink whiskey out of a wine glass. I've done it myself, because the bouquet is big. It opens up, you know?
It's the aeration. And the thing is, if you have a great whiskey, this actually makes it spectacular because the aromatics concentrate in the center. Any alcohol gets stuck on the rim of the glass and it just becomes so much more seductive, richly aromatic. Incredible.
Amazing. Rachel, so I have a question. You know, we all reminisce about the old transport casks and old sherry styles and whatever. How can we best mimic that today? You know, we have newer oak, we have slightly different types of sherry. How can we almost imitate the indulgence and the intensity that we used to have, you know, in the 70s?
Yeah, great question. Prior to 1986, when sherry stopped coming into United Kingdom in casks, and it was all bottled in Spain, prior to that, the casks that held the sherry to come into the UK to be bottled were made of Spanish oak, because these were the most robust and strong for shipment. So they could guarantee that not any drop of sherry would be lost during that transport to the UK, and then they sat until they were ready for bottling. So this could have been, 6 months or more. That's why, the original style of sherry cask for Scotch was the old shipping casks that were made of Spanish oak.
You know, it sounds so simple, but it makes sense now. A transport cask has to be, twice as thick to survive the journey.
Ideally.
So, and those casks, they age really well. I'm sure you tried loads of them.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe the industry should look at looking at thicker staves and potentially?
Yeah, I mean, with sherry casks, if they're made from European or Spanish oak, they just have thicker staves. Part of the construction of a puncheon or a butt, because it's 500 litres and it has to hold more weight, you need thicker staves anyway. So that is just the natural way of doing it. It's very different from an American oak barrel, which is much thinner staves, and you get a lot more losses from them, and you don't get as much character.
So losses in they're not as tightly packed, or?
Yeah, it's to do with the porosity, it's to do with the surface area to volume ratio. It's a much smaller cask.
More angel share, obviously.
More angel share, and thickness of the staves, and the biochemistry or the composition of the different species of oak.
And just the final thing, could I try a special dram on camera? Anything that...
Oh my gosh, well, I'm trying to think. I don't have another wine glass. Do you mind using my wine glass?
No, it'd be an honour. So
this has got the 1993 29-year-olds in the glass. It's a Pedro Ximénez butt. 1993 is a very fine, very rich vintage. Born on the 28th of May 93. And this is a whiskey that is so rich on the nose. It is at 54.2% alcohol, but when you allow it to open up, it's just so giving, it's so generous, it's so welcoming, it's
sweet
so
raisin.
aromatic.
Mm.
You get the raisin, the dates, but you also, you get, there's a warmth there as well. There's just enough of a backbone and a spice. So it's robust, but it's also full-bodied, and it also has that rich fruitiness.
I'll take a wee dram.
Yeah, okay.
And cheers.
Cheers.
I know you're coming out with the new shape of the single cask now.
We do have a new bottle shape, which is the same as
This one, yeah.
The core bottle with the facets on the base, representing the full facets of flavour: robust, dark fruit, elegant and full-bodied. And we have new labels that enable a customer exclusive or market exclusive for it to be the cask details, and then also what market it's for, or indeed if a group of customers want to get together and to bottle a cask, maybe with 100 bottles even, they can do that.
Really?
Absolutely.
So what, they have their casks in their inventory?
Well, we have the cask. I spend time with them in their distillery to select the taste that they really like and they want. And then we can bottle 100, 200, depends on the number, of bottles from a single cask just for them, exclusive. Because we have some smaller casks as well as bigger.
Damn, I might do that one day.
Yeah.
Can I just say that it's obscene? I'm not going to go into the notes just because you cannot do it justice after so many, wines and whiskies. But this is honestly so special. This era is ending. It's not going to be around for long, and it's such an honor to try this.
I've got one more to try since we're on camera.
Oh.
I'm going to show you this. This is a sample bottle I just brought from Scotland because we don't have any more of this left this year. So this is the GlenDronach 40-year-old, of which we only bottled 300 bottles for the world. And they sold out like that in Asia, UK, US, all around the globe. So I managed to keep some. I'm already working on the next release for 2026. So, would you like to try some?
Yes, I'm going to cry. Oh my God. Thank you, Rachel. What an honor. I've never tried a 40 and above GlenDronach. And I'll just show it to the camera again.
This is, we're actually hiding this one away.
Oh, sorry.
We need to hide it away again.
Is it all right to be on camera? Is it okay to be on camera?
We have released it before. So this is the 40. It was made from two casks of 1978.
Okay.
Which were second fill Oloroso butts, 183 and 184 PX offset. And 8 years ago, I combined them all, batted them all, and then re-racked them back into 3 casks, 2 PX and 1 Oloroso. And then after another 4 years, I re-racked them into 2 casks. 1 first fill PX puncheon and 1 second fill Oloroso. And that's what has been created in this 40-year-old. Natural cask strength at 43.9% alcohol.
The nose is wonderful. Cheers, man.
Take your time, please.
Of course.
40 years in the making. But this takes GlenDronach to really the pinnacle of sherry cask excellence, of being so exquisite with a top note complexity that's unlike anything else. And I think is a really true celebration of how the robust Highland style can rise from the valley of the bramble and raise expectations even higher.
Oh, absolutely.
With this whiskey.
And what I like is the maltiness is still there, and I'm getting the distillery character, which is incredible. Just the
It's very sublime.
yeah,
Very
it's
sublime.
okay. On the palate then.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Long, complex.
Complexity, exquisite. It's just seduction on your palate. No, completely seamless. Completely seamless.
Incredible work,
Thank
innovation, skill.
you. Cheers.
As always, it's an honor. Rachel is always generous with the time. So please like the channel and do support GlenDronach. They are some of the best sherried whiskies in the industry, and I'm genuinely saying that. Leave a like on the video, and Rachel, a pleasure once again to see you.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.